In the darkness beneath the waves, a world exists that few humans have ever seen. The ocean's surface is familiar, even comforting, but what lies beneath is a realm of shadows and silence. As the submersible's lights pierce the black, the water seems to swallow every sound, every color, every certainty. Why do we know so little about these depths? What secrets are waiting, hidden from the sun for millions of years? The journey down is not just a descent through water, but a passage into the unknown, where each meter brings new questions and new wonders. Down here, the rules of life are rewritten. The pressure is immense, enough to crush steel, yet life persists. Creatures with bodies like glass and skin that glows in the dark drift past the submersible's window. How do they survive in such extremes? Scientists have discovered that some deep-sea fish have evolved antifreeze proteins in their blood, while others use chemical reactions to produce their own light. Is it possible that these adaptations hold clues to life on other planets? Or even new medicines for our own survival? Every organism here is a testament to nature's ingenuity, a living answer to the question, what does it take to endure the impossible? Suddenly, a flash of blue-green fire streaks through the darkness. Bioluminescence, nature's own neon sign, illuminates the water. In the deep ocean, where sunlight never reaches, light becomes a language. Some creatures use it to hunt, others to hide, and some to find mates in the endless night. The vampire squid, with its glowing arms, drifts by, a living enigma. Why do so many deep-sea animals glow? Is it simply a tool for survival, or is there something more, a hidden code that only they can understand? Recent studies in Nature magazine suggest that bioluminescence may be the most common form of communication on Earth, yet it remains one of the least understood. A shadow looms in the distance, larger than anything seen so far. The giant squid, once thought a myth, is real and it is watching. Its eyes, the size of dinner plates, reflect the submersible's lights. What else lurks in the darkness, unseen and unimagined? For centuries, sailors told stories of sea monsters, but only now are we beginning to glimpse the truth. The colossal squid, the six-gill shark, the mysterious beaked whales. Each discovery raises new questions. Are there even larger creatures waiting in the unexplored trenches? And if so, what do they eat, how do they live, and why have they remained hidden for so long? As the submersible glides along the ocean floor, strange shapes appear in the distance. Towers of mineral rise from the seabed, spewing hot, mineral-rich water into the cold darkness. These are hydrothermal vents, sometimes called black smokers, and around them are entire ecosystems unlike anything on land. Giant tube worms, blind shrimp, and bizarre crabs thrive here, feeding not on sunlight, but on chemicals from the Earth itself. Could these lost cities be the birthplace of life on Earth? Some scientists believe that life began in places just like this, deep beneath the waves. If so, what does that mean for our search for life elsewhere in the universe? But the deep ocean is no longer untouched. Plastic waste, chemical pollution, and deep-sea mining threaten even the most remote corners of the abyss. What responsibility do we have to protect these fragile worlds? A recent National Geographic article warns that damage done here could take centuries to repair if it can be repaired at all. Should we continue to explore, or is it time to leave the deep in peace? The choices we make now will echo for generations. Can we find a balance between curiosity and caution, between discovery and destruction? A shadow looms in the distance, larger than anything seen so far. The giant squid, once thought a myth, is real and it is watching. Its eyes, the size of dinner plates, reflect the submersible's lights. What else lurks in the darkness, unseen and unimagined? For centuries, sailors told stories of sea monsters, but only now are we beginning to glimpse the truth. The colossal squid, the six-gill shark, the mysterious beaked whales. Each discovery raises new questions. Are there even larger creatures waiting in the unexplored trenches? And if so, what do they eat, how do they live, and why have they remained hidden for so long? As the submersible glides along the ocean floor, strange shapes appear in the distance. Towers of mineral rise from the seabed, spewing hot, mineral-rich water into the cold darkness. These are hydrothermal vents, sometimes called black smokers, and around them are entire ecosystems unlike anything on land. Giant tube worms, blind shrimp, and bizarre crabs thrive here, feeding not on sunlight, but on chemicals from the Earth itself. Could these lost cities be the birthplace of life on Earth? Some scientists believe that life began in places just like this, deep beneath the waves. If so, what does that mean for our search for life elsewhere in the universe? But the deep ocean is no longer untouched. Plastic waste, chemical pollution, and deep-sea mining threaten even the most remote corners of the abyss. What responsibility do we have to protect these fragile worlds? A recent National Geographic article warns that damage done here could take centuries to repair if it can be repaired at all. Should we continue to explore, or is it time to leave the deep in peace? The choices we make now will echo for generations. Can we find a balance between curiosity and caution, between discovery and destruction? As the submersible begins its ascent, the mysteries of the deep linger in the mind. What have we learned from the creatures who thrive in darkness, from the cities built on fire and water, from the silence that speaks louder than words? The ocean is not just a place, but a question, a reminder that there is still so much we do not know. Will we listen to its message, or will we turn away? The next time you look out at the sea, ask yourself, the deep ocean is a time capsule, preserving secrets from Earth's earliest days. Sediments on the ocean floor hold fossils and chemical clues that tell stories of ancient climates and vanished ecosystems. How did the deep sea survive mass extinctions that wiped out life on land? What can these ancient archives teach us about resilience and change? According to a 2022 study published in Science Advances, deep-sea sediment cores reveal patterns of climate shifts dating back millions of years, offering insights into how our planet's systems respond to upheaval. Beneath the waves, invisible armies of microbes shape the ocean's chemistry and, by extension, the Earth's atmosphere. These tiny organisms, often overlooked, perform feats that sustain the entire biosphere. Chemosynthetic bacteria at hydrothermal vents convert toxic chemicals into energy, forming the base of complex ecosystems. Could these microbes hold the key to new antibiotics or biofuels? Recent breakthroughs in marine microbiology, highlighted in Nature Microbiology, reveal that many ocean microbes possess genes unlike anything seen on land, hinting at untapped biological potential. The ocean's depths may harbor cures for some of humanity's most stubborn diseases. Marine organisms produce unique compounds as defenses against predators and harsh environments, compounds that scientists are now investigating for pharmaceutical use. For example, compounds derived from deep-sea sponges have shown promise in cancer research. The deep ocean is a giant engine driving Earth's climate. It absorbs vast amounts of heat and carbon dioxide, buffering us from the worst impacts of global warming. But this system is fragile. Changes in ocean circulation, such as the slowing of the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, AMOC, could trigger extreme weather and disrupt food supplies worldwide. Scientists at the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, emphasize that understanding deep ocean currents is critical for accurate climate models. What happens if this engine falters? Are we prepared for the consequences? The ocean's silence hides a ticking clock. Will we heed its warnings before it's too late? For millennia, coastal and island communities have revered the ocean as a source of life and spirit. Indigenous knowledge systems offer profound insights into ocean health and sustainability. The wisdom of the Maori in New Zealand, the Bajau Sea nomads of Southeast Asia, and the Inuit of the Arctic reveals a relationship with the sea that transcends exploitation. How can modern science learn from these traditions? A 2023 UNESCO report highlights the importance of integrating indigenous perspectives into marine conservation. Could this fusion of knowledge be the key to protecting the ocean's future? Beneath the ocean floor lie vast deposits of rare minerals essential for modern technology: cobalt, nickel, and rare earth elements. The demand for these resources is skyrocketing with the rise of electric vehicles and renewable energy. But mining the deep sea is fraught with uncertainty. Environmentalists warn that disturbing these fragile habitats could cause irreversible damage. The International Seabed Authority is tasked with regulating this new frontier, but can governance keep pace with industry? A recent investigative report in The Guardian raises questions about transparency and accountability. Should humanity risk the ocean's health for short-term gain? Every year, millions of tons of plastic waste enter the ocean, much of it sinking into the depths. Microplastics have been found in the deepest trenches, ingested by creatures from tiny plankton to giant whales. What does this mean for the food chain and, ultimately, for us? Studies published in Environmental Science and Technology reveal alarming levels of chemical pollutants accumulating in deep-sea organisms. How long before these toxins circle back to impact human health? The ocean's vastness once seemed a shield against pollution, but now it is a warning sign. The deep ocean holds more mysteries than the surface of Mars or the far reaches of space. Advances in robotics, AI, and remote sensing promise to revolutionize our understanding. Projects like the Ocean Observatories Initiative and the Deep Ocean Exploration of the 21st Century aim to map and monitor the ocean in unprecedented detail. But what stories will these new eyes uncover? Will we find new species, new ecosystems, or even new forms of life? And how will this knowledge reshape our place on Earth? As we stand on the brink of discovery, the question remains, are we ready to face the truths the deep ocean will reveal? The ocean's depths challenge us to rethink our relationship with the planet. They remind us that life is resilient yet fragile, mysterious yet interconnected. What responsibility do we bear as stewards of this vast, hidden world? Can curiosity be balanced with caution? Can exploration coexist with conservation? The deep ocean does not just invite us to discover, it demands that we listen, learn, and act. The future of the ocean is intertwined with the future of humanity. Will we rise to the challenge, or will we let the abyss remain a silent witness to our neglect? Record highs, marine pollution spreads relentlessly, and ecosystems are declining at an unprecedented pace. Why does 2025 stand out as a watershed moment? With just 5 years left to meet the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 14 focused on conserving and sustainably using the oceans, the clock is ticking. Yet, progress has been slow, and funding remains scarce. What will it take to turn the tide before it's too late? This year marks a convergence of international agreements, high-profile conferences, and diplomatic efforts that could redefine ocean governance. The UN Ocean Conference in Nice, France, scheduled for June, is poised to be a pivotal moment for global cooperation. Will world leaders rise to the challenge and commit to protecting the vast high seas, which cover 61% of the ocean and remain largely unregulated? The stakes could not be higher. The High Seas Treaty, adopted in 2023 after nearly 2 decades of negotiations, aims to fill a massive governance gap by protecting marine biodiversity beyond national jurisdictions. But the treaty's success hinges on ratification by at least 60 countries. As of early 2025, 15 had ratified it, with 45 more needed to unlock its transformative power. What political, economic, and environmental forces will influence this process? The high seas are home to fragile ecosystems and migratory species that cross borders, demanding collective stewardship. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing threatens the ocean's health and the livelihoods of millions. The World Trade Organization's 2022 agreement on fisheries subsidies targets the most damaging subsidies that encourage overfishing and depletion of stocks. Full implementation requires ratification by 2/3 of WTO members, a milestone still out of reach. The ocean floor holds vast reserves of minerals essential for the green energy transition: cobalt, nickel, rare earth elements. But the rush to exploit these resources through deep-sea mining threatens to disrupt ecosystems we barely understand. Scientists warn that mining could destroy habitats, reduce biodiversity, and impair the ocean's ability to store carbon. Norway's recent postponement of mining plans offers a glimmer of hope. But the pressure mounts. Rising sea temperatures, acidification, and extreme weather events are reshaping marine ecosystems. The ocean, once a buffer against climate change, now faces unprecedented stress. Indigenous coastal communities and scientists alike emphasize the need for climate-driven ocean solutions that combine traditional knowledge with cutting-edge science. How can policies be co-designed to build resilience for both nature and people? The ocean has long protected humanity from a warming atmosphere. Now it's time to repay that favor. What commitments will emerge from global forums this year to address these intertwined crises? Networks like Rise Up, comprising hundreds of organizations worldwide, are mobilizing to translate momentum into action. Their focus on advocacy, science, and policy aims to accelerate ocean conservation and sustainable use. How can civil society, governments, and the private sector work together to meet ambitious targets like protecting 30% of the ocean by 2030? The challenges facing the ocean are vast, but so too are the opportunities for change. Every individual has a role to play, from reducing plastic use and supporting sustainable seafood to advocating for stronger policies and funding ocean science. June 2025, Nice, France. The world's eyes turn to the 2025 United Nations Ocean Conference, a gathering unlike any before. Co-hosted by France and Costa Rica, this high-level event aims to accelerate action and mobilize all actors to conserve and sustainably use the ocean. The stakes could not be higher. The conference is not just a meeting of diplomats and scientists, it is a call to humanity to recognize that the ocean is the lifeblood of the planet, a vital driver of climate regulation, food security, and economic prosperity. The conference agenda is ambitious: 10 plenary sessions, 10 ocean action panels, and a closing segment designed to forge partnerships and commitments. At its heart lies the Nice Ocean Action Plan, a concise, action-oriented declaration that will guide global ocean governance for years to come. This plan is the culmination of years of negotiations, consultations, and scientific input, reflecting the voices of governments, indigenous peoples, civil society, and the private sector. One of the conference's key themes is building a sustainable blue economy that leaves no one behind. With over 80% of global trade carried by sea, and marine food systems essential to billions of lives, the ocean economy must be resilient and inclusive. The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, plays a central role, highlighting how trade can support sustainable ocean-based food systems and maritime transport. The challenge is immense: diversifying ocean economies, enhancing maritime resilience, accelerating decarbonization, and improving access to finance and technology.